Honestly, the most challenging thing overall wasn't even really like a technical thing. It was more of trying to come up with a story that you could tell in 3 to 4 minutes. I think at this point with Iron Viz, you have 20 minutes to build and then 3 minutes to present. I think that presentation time is starting to become a lot more restrictive than the build time, just because people have introduced so many tricks and hacks. But it's hard to explain what you've built in just a few minutes.
So hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Viz. Today I have Brian in the house, finally, to talk about his Iron Viz performance. So he did an amazing job on stage where he showed us amazing animations through a storyline that he put together. So over to you, Brian, to tell us a little bit on how the inspiration to do this story came about.
Sure, yeah, and thanks for having me. As you probably know, we get our hands on the data set a couple of months before Iron Viz. We have a lot of time to kind of go through everything. It actually didn't take very long to come up with a general story. It took a long time to kind of hone in. But yeah, I had started by just looking at the most popular books, just kind of ranked them by number of reviews, saw that roughly 200 or so had over 1 million. And just scrolling through some of the titles, noticed that a bunch of them were the classics, which you would expect to be on there. Everybody's read them. But it was kind of surprising seeing a lot of them have something with 5 million reviews, but like a 3.5 star rating. And then another group that really stood out was those mega popular fantasy franchises. Every book from Harry Potter, every book from the Hunger Games, every book from Percy Jackson. They were also in that kind of group of super popular titles, but they were all very highly rated. So I thought that was interesting. So I just wanted to kind of dive in. And at first I was thinking more along the lines of just doing like anatomy of a popular title. Like, how do you get there? Basically, you have to be a classic or fantasy franchise or these other things.
That's really cool. So one thing I realized was also you have a particular style, especially in the past year or so. You have a couple of vizes like the Tornets and block by block where you have a left and right structure. The navigation all sits to the left and the storyline sits on the right. Is that something that you have been recently gravitating towards?
I think so. Actually, I was on Zach's podcast about a month ago, and he pointed out the same thing. I didn't even really realize I was doing it, but it seems to work pretty well. You kind of bucket your title, your description, your navigation, all that on the left, and all of the cool stuff off to the right.
I mean, when I was watching the Iron Viz finals virtually, it reminded me a lot on your 2024's Iron Viz submission as well. The side stories on the TV spin-off. You have this navigation bar where you talk through like the different stages of how the spin-offs from television sitcoms, they evolve over time. And the way that the storyline is put together with the right side animating and changing according to what the story was. Your Iron Viz performance this year, you had this shift from bar charts to dotted plot charts and stuff like that. So walk us through a little bit on how you structured that whole story, because that requires a lot of data scaffolding as well, which we know that you are amazing at that because you always come up with very cool ideas and ways of breaking Tableau where it's not supposed to do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this was really similar to that qualifier submission. I also have a best practices presentation out on Tableau Public that's very similar, kind of like that one sheet navigation where everything is there but hidden until you get to that step. Everything you see on the screen at any given time is, we'll just call it a step. And then when you hit the next button, you go to the next step. When you hit the previous button, you go to the previous step. For Iron Viz, not only did we get the data a couple months in advance, but we are also able to use Tableau Prep. So we couldn't introduce any new data sources, but we could use files for scaffolding and data densification and things like that. So I have this kind of configuration file. So you see along the left, there's that step number. So step 0, step 1, step 2. Within each of those steps, there's all of these different components. So these are basically all of the things that are going to be on the screen at any given time. Actually, one thing I should probably mention, and it might make sense to talk about this first, is that for this specific build, which is a little bit different than in past ones, the entire thing was built in just a single worksheet.
That's what basically made everyone really confused, because I think for the first 5 minutes of you building on screen, nobody knew what the hell you were building.
Yeah, so you'll see there's actually a couple of sheets down here. One of them is this bar chart that I spent 10 minutes building and I didn't present. We can talk about that a little bit later, but basically I had optimized this so much that to build what I actually wanted to present on stage only took me 8 minutes to build. So I had some time to add some other stuff, which is why I spent so long building this. And then this is a sheet just for the buttons, which those were originally included on the same sheet with everything else, but it made the interactivity on Tableau Public a little weird, so I moved them to their own sheet. But basically everything else is in just a single sheet with map layers. So as you move with this parameter, let's see, everything is just in this one sheet. So in this configuration file, you'll see we have these different components. So there's the main title, which is this. There's these main lines, which is just these kind of decorative lines here over the bar. The main text, which is the text in this area that you see, kind of the descriptive text as you go through. The main bars. So this thing over here that changes color as you go through the presentation is actually a bar chart. So it's just a single bar. And then the buttons, which I ended up moving to the end. So basically for each step, I have this configuration file that basically creates all of the records that I need to draw all of those different things. Because it was all built on one sheet, I couldn't use the native design functionality, even things like access lines. Like I had to draw those. I couldn't just display them. So this configuration file not only creates all of the records needed for all those steps, but also each individual design element within every one of those steps. And then there's a secondary file that does even another layer of densification to create different number of points for each of these things. So if I need to draw a line, it'll give me 2 points for that line. Yeah, there's a lot of scaffolding, a lot of densification, and then this pretty massive Tableau prep flow that I probably rebuilt 20 times over that 2-month span.
Oh gosh. How long did it take you to put all this scaffolding and the prep flow together for the first time?
So, I mean, the first time it came together pretty quickly. I probably had the data source like mostly built out in 1 to 2 weeks. But when I realized I had to go and change something, it was impossible to change anything the way that I built it. So I rebuilt the entire flow to make it more modular. And then I got to the end and realized it was still really difficult to change anything. And then I rebuilt the entire thing from scratch again. And this time it was really easy to go back and change stuff. But at that point, the design was done and I didn't need to change anything. So that was probably a waste of time. But the reason I was able to build it in 8 minutes is because 95% of the work is being done in Tableau Prep. So up here, I have all the charts. The blue ones are for charts. The pink ones are for text. The purple ones are for the bars.
I love that you color-coded that for yourself as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly for me. Nobody else really sees that. It was just so I could find things quickly. But yeah, so basically everything on here, you see there's not a whole lot of fields here. There's one for color, one for size. There's a unique ID for the mark, text for any of the text ones, the bar marks, the lines. So all of that gets unioned at the end, which is like 5 common fields. And then those same fields get just reused for everything. All of these different layers pretty much look identical. They just have color, size, ID, basically same, just a couple of fields on it. Oh, and an X and a Y coordinate to be able to draw everything. Those are the important ones.
I mean, when I first look at your screen share, I kind of expected a 30 map layer worksheet, but it's in fact only 5 layers, and everything, like you said, has been done on the prep side. So it's really, really clean on the Tableau side. So I think that also helped with the animations as well, because I know one thing that I struggle with when we bring in too many calculations, or like the file size is too big, that the animations gets a bit chunky, like it doesn't animate that well. Was there any specific trick or things that you specifically look out to make the animations a bit smoother?
Keeping the workbook as simple and small as possible was definitely one of them. Also, only using mark types that animate well and that will also animate on Tableau Public.
So on that, what are the mark types that would animate and what are the mark types that wouldn't?
Yeah, so lines, bars, I think circles and square. I think it's pretty much polygons and text that don't. There may be some others, probably have to look that up, but those are the ones that I know for sure don't. But like a lot of this stuff would have been much easier with polygons. So like this reference band here looks like it was probably a polygon. It's actually a stacked bar chart.
Oh,
So there's this portion that you can see, and then there's a hidden part down here that you can't see.
that's crazy.
There's these 6 map layers. This one here, this entire layer is used just for this. But nothing else in the entire dashboard. It's used up, so you can see if I can hide that. All it does is remove that. This next one here, this one is for every single chart in the entire workbook. So every bar chart, every scatter plot, every line chart, they're actually all lines. So even these are lines, they're just lines that don't go anywhere. Basically, the start and end are stacked on top of each other, so it looks like a circle. So again, if I hide this, you'll see all of the marks disappear throughout all of the different charts.
That's really smart. Wouldn't. Is there anything that you can't do in Tableau, Brian?
If you have enough time, you can figure out how to do pretty much anything.
I remember the Flash twins, they said something many years ago about Tableau being a canvas of X and Y coordinates. And if you can visualize and imagine anything, you can build anything. And I think you've demonstrated that very clearly.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I heard the Flurlages say that in a presentation in like 2019, and that just blew my mind and opened up a world of possibilities.
Is there anything that you would have hoped that you could do in Tableau, but you can't? Like in terms of drawing on the canvas itself, or things that if you have tried that stumped you?
No, I mean, I do really wish that you could animate polygons, because I think there's some really cool stuff you could do with that. You can try to do it if you color with lines and just do a bunch of overlapping lines, but that kind of gets messy. But no, I mean, I haven't really run into too much. I think if you kind of combine this with some of the other techniques that like I've written about, using parameters to store like a ton of information, you can do some really cool, powerful stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen that Tableau drawing tool that I have out Tableau Public, but yeah, you can just click it out and actually draw like directly in Tableau, which is pretty fun.
What was the most, I would say, challenging part of making this build? Was there something that took you a lot more time?
Honestly, the most challenging thing overall wasn't even really like a technical thing. It was more of trying to come up with a story that you could tell in 3 to 4 minutes. I think at this point with Iron Viz, you have 20 minutes to build and then 3 minutes to present. I think that presentation time is starting to become a lot more restrictive than the build time, just because people have introduced so many tricks and hacks and things like that. But it's hard to explain what you've built in just a few minutes. So as I was building this, I would build it out and then realize that I added way too much and it would take way too long to go through, and then figuring out what pieces I could cut and then having to go through and actually physically cut them. I would say that was probably the most difficult from the technical standpoint. I think I had done a lot of this stuff before, at least in some way, like you mentioned before, the different things that I've used that one screen navigation for. So I knew I wanted to do that. Like I knew how to do that. And again, a lot of these, like I didn't really have to learn or figure out anything new technically. It was really just putting it made sense and could be described quickly.
That's an interesting thought as well, because from what I see, all of the Iron Viz finalists, whatever that was shown was a extension of what they've built over the past years and things that they kind of gravitate towards. Like Anne also has that same thing where she had this exploding network chart, which she did it 2 years ago when she had that thing where she clicked and then the network chart expands by stages. But in the Iron Viz performance this year, she had it already expanded. So all of you brought something from your previous experience, and I see it in previous years and this finalists as well, which I think it's really interesting because everyone has their certain styles and kind of ways of doing things, and it shows up very clearly. I mean, I've been following your work for the longest time, and your work always inspires me because you can do things that the Tableau is not supposed to do, just breaking everything.
That's the fun thing about Tableau, especially Tableau Public, is figuring out all of those weird things that you can do. And then bringing them together in different ways. And yeah, I think everybody at Iron Viz this year really stayed true to their style. We each brought something very unique, but borrowed from our portfolio of work in the past. I thought they were all awesome. I definitely did not envy the judges this year.
This year was especially hard. Like all three of the submissions were really, really good on stage, and the way that you guys have delivered the story, and like you said, in just 3 to 4 minutes, it's really hard to tell a compelling story, but you guys did it so well. It set a very high bar for next year as well. And
Yeah.
I know I have asked Anne and Kev this as well, but how many times have you rebuilt your Iron Viz build?
So we probably not as many as other people did, just because it was so easy to build. It was just that one sheet. That's kind of why I did the one sheet too. Like looking back at past years, you see people spend probably 15 of the 20 minutes just on formatting and trying to get everything right, setting up multiple dashboards, adding text boxes, aligning all of the different sheets. Like not that much of the time is actually spent like building. It's all just like formatting. So with one sheet, there really wasn't a whole lot to do. You build that one sheet and you drag it out onto a dashboard, add a parameter action, and then it was pretty much done. So there wasn't a lot to practice. There wasn't a lot to forget. Yeah, so for any future Iron Viz contestants out there, I think the one sheet build is the way to go.
Definitely. I think you're right. Formatting in Tableau takes a lot of time, especially when we're building dashboards for work and all. Even with all of the tricks that people learn from Lisa, like setting workbook defaults, it still takes a lot of time. Tooltips, font sizes and all. Thank you so much, Brian. This has been really, really insightful. I'm still really amazed about how you managed to do everything in one sheet, because I know everyone watching from home and on site was really amazed or really confused in the first 5 minutes. Like I said, this is the exact screen that everyone was looking at for the first 5 minutes and nobody knew what was going on.
So that was all by design. It was all smoke and mirrors. I wanted to look just as chaotic as possible until the last minute.
It worked tremendously well for you. All right. Thank you so much, Brian. I hope everyone gets inspired by you. I'm sure they will. And we'll see everyone at the next episode. Thank you.